Welcome to Dance Specific Talks. This podcast is made for us dancers, and our goal here is to inspire dancers from all over the world to become better, both on and off the dance floor. We want to provide you with a platform where we dancers can share and learn from each other. So let me introduce to you your host for this podcast, Teaser, and remember as always, by dancers, for dancers.
Welcome back to another episode of your favorite dance podcast, Dance Specific Talks, released from Be Fit and Sensual. I'm your truly host, Teaser, and don't forget, if you want to check out more about dance-specific training, both physically and mentally, don't forget to check out Be Fit and Sensual. It's for dancers, by dancers. Today we're traveling all the way to Spain as we are meeting the dancer who also turned into a singer and a rapper. We want to introduce no one else than Indee Styla. So what do you need to know about Indee? Well, she's a dancer with multiple styles. She has performed and taught all over the world, but now she's also a singer and a rapper. She has just released her newest album, and we are interested to know how these both worlds are combined and how she thinks about her journey both in the dancing and the music industry. So time to plug in your headphones and listen to this episode. But don't forget, you can subscribe to all of our channels. We are on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, but also on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Dance Specific Talks by dancers for dancers. Welcome to this interview, Indee.
Yep. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. Where in the world are you located right now?
I'm located in Barcelona right now.
All right. Well, I'm guessing the weather is better. We are expecting snow in Amsterdam this upcoming weekend. I don't know how you guys are having it.
We are cool now. Like the weather is pretty nice. It's very sunny, and we had some cold days before, but now it's like spring. It's very strange. Like, is it not normal? Like, actually, we normally had like a cold weather, but now it's like very sunny and 15 degrees. Yes, more or less. So it's hot, right?
Wow.
It's warm.
Yeah, so warm. Yeah, we're expecting like 5 minus here, so
Woo!
we're gonna have to stay inside. Well, I'm super happy to have you on this interview. You're the first guest who actually have both a dancing background, but are also a singer slash rapper. And I would love to ask you more about that. For how long have you actually been in the music industry as an artist?
Well, I started to rap when I was like 18 years old. It's almost like 20 years ago. But, the moment when I started to be like more active as an artist, like as a stage artist, it was 2007, something like this, when I released my first demo. And then I released my first LP in 2011. So it was a moment when I was like, okay, I'm going to develop this career for longer, because I really feel like I have things to say.
Yeah. So like, how would you describe yourself as an artist? Because I've seen several different music videos with you, but they are very different in terms of music style. How would you describe Indee, the artist, the music artist?
Well, for me, it's the most difficult question, because I really feel like very eclectic. I'm a person who takes inspiration from different places and people and sounds. But, I come from hip hop culture. Like, this is my base for everything, And this moment when I met hip hop culture is when I feel like very free, because I can just create without standards. And this kind of thing that hip hop gives to you is like, do it yourself and just do it, be creative. So I felt very connected with this culture. And then after, when I started to make gigs and shows and know more musicians from other musical background, I started to pick these things up, because it made my music richer, and yes, so I take inspiration from African music, jazz music, funk, soul, and much more. But yes, nowadays I have this Afro-Latin inspiration, most of all, in my last album, mix it with hip hop and reggae also because I really like Jamaican music. So yeah, it's like a
Wow.
mix.
Beautiful. A rainbow of different inspirations and sounds. That's great to hear. Where do you think this love of music comes from in your life? Why music? Why hip hop? Where does it come from?
It's an interesting question because in my family we have like I have a DJ. I have a brother who is DJ. He produces electronic music, so it's weird, right? I don't know. I mean, I think music is a global language for everybody who can take us to express our emotions without words. You know, like music, it touch your soul. Like it touched my soul so much. I don't even know where it comes from. You know, but. For me it's like a channel, you know, to let my feelings go out, to change my, you know, my energy from bad to good, you know, like not bad to good but negative to positive. And you know, it's for me music is a chemistry, you know, it's a powerful weapon, you know.
Wow. Yeah. And you said you started to rap when you were like 18. Had you already started dancing before that?
Yes. I think my natural passion and ability was the movement for sure, because I used to dance in my room when I was, you know, a little child, and I'm very shy. Like really, I am a shy person, you know. And in my family, I have like three brothers, one sister, and I am the youngest.
Yeah.
So I'm very shy because, you know, you just feel like you are like, I don't know, a kid, you know. But yeah, for me, I started to dance like in my house, and then I started to take classes and everything, but only when I have money to make it, because I couldn't take classes. I couldn't take classes before I was 15 years old. So before that, I was just a freestyler.
Wow, but dancing have taken you far. I know that you've been in China, maybe you've been in like other countries as well, working with dancing as a professional dancer.
Yes, for sure. I travel the world teaching and also making performance. And yeah, I've been in a lot of countries. So I'm very thankful for that. You know, I didn't think the dance will take me so far, you know, and to connect with other people from other countries. It has been such an amazing path, you know.
Beautiful. What was the turning point from you, like, you know, taking classes, dancing at your home to like, no, I want to make a living of this. This is what I want to have as my main thing. What was there like a moment or a period
Yeah.
of your time where you just decided to go for it?
Yeah, it's a good question. I was starting my career. It was like, I don't know how to say in English, but I think it's like, yeah, tourism. So you started to run different companies and everything. And that moment when I was 17 years old, I was very involved with the hip hop and dance and music. Like I felt my purpose, you know, as an artist, as a communicator. I felt like it took a lot of my energy, and I felt good giving energy to that, you know, to the dance. So one of my friends and mentor was in Barcelona, because I'm from Pamplona. It's a little city in the north of Spain. So she was in Barcelona and I was studying in Pamplona, and she was like, you have to come here because you are very talented and I think you can develop more, you know, your ability, blah, 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 blah. And I was like feeling so, you know, enthusiastic, yes, about that idea. And I felt like, yes, I have to follow my purpose of life. Like for me, I think it was like, boom, a switch, and I couldn't come back, you know, to my, you know, it's weird, but it's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an easy choice because you have all this, you know, like how are you gonna make a living and is this gonna
Yes,
work
questions,
and what is my
right?
plan B and all of this. But I'm
Yes,
so
yes.
happy that you kept on, you know, kept on going.
You know, it's true. It's very difficult because you have the mental, you know, voice. Then you have your heart voice, your spirit voice, and sometimes you just need to pick, to choose, you know, and and take decisions, because sometimes you don't know what's going to happen, but you know that it is right because you feel like connected, and you feel like, okay, yes, I need to do that, and you don't know why and how, but you just do it.
Sometimes they say that when you feel the most scared to make a choice or to believe in something, it means that something big is waiting on the other side, and that's why you feel so much about it. Have
Okay.
you ever like talked yourself over that decision, like, no, but my heart really wants to do this? Brain,
Totally.
shut up.
Yes, totally. Yeah. Many times in my life, to be honest, many times I have this kind of feeling, like very scary feeling, like, okay, should I do that? Shouldn't I? And then you realize and you can see that is the fear, it's because you are afraid of doing it, because maybe it takes you to another level of commitment, with yourself, with your purpose. And then is when, now that I'm older, I feel like, okay, I can tell, oh, yeah, you don't want to do it because it's scary, but because it's going to take you to another level, so just do it.
Yeah. And from going from being like a successful dancer, you have jobs, you're touring, then what made you think that, oh, I'm just going to add another challenge? Let's me just go into this music industry real quick as well and add that on top. What made you go for that?
I'm crazy. I don't know what I did at. Like, for me, when like, is the most challenge to do both, as you said, because it wasn't a rational decision. I was just doing it. Like, I was involved in different formations of music bands or groups of rappers or crews. And then I had my training dance crew. I had my classes going on, and all my world was surrounded about music and dance, music and dance. I had friends that asked me like, "Yeah, Indee, but you need to choose, because you need to choose." And then I didn't choose. I mean, I couldn't, to be honest. I couldn't. It has been very hard, to be honest, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has been one of the hardest part of like as a dancer getting into the music industry?
Yeah.
Because I guess that a lot of people maybe don't take you as seriously because you went from the background dancer to like, no, I want to have the mic. I want to be in the center.
Yeah.
Have you like been approached differently or had to like convince people harder, you think, because you are a dancer?
Yes, I think dancers, we are like in another level for the industry, like the entertainment and artistic industry. And then when you want to take the mic and that position, as you say, from leader of a show or something like this, is you have to work harder. Like, you have to prove, that you are ready to do that you can do that, and you have things to say. But yeah, it takes a lot of work, because you need to work harder as a singer, and also you want to keep the dancing going on, because it's part of yourself, and it's part of your expression. And for me, acting right now, like on a stage, I wouldn't be the same if I wouldn't dance. So now I'm in this moment that I want to join the two forces, and just make it one, like something organic. But it takes a lot of work, because also the energy of a dancer is different of a singer energy. The way you have to breathe on the stage when you're singing, yeah, is different than the way you breathe when you are a dancer. And also the way you take out adrenaline,
Yeah.
yes, the way we take this out is different. So it's like the mindset, you need to be very, flexible.
Yeah, because not only did you choose to keep the dancing and to go into music, you also decided to choreograph your own music videos and shows, which is like, oh, you just want to do that job too. Because a lot of maybe artists think like, okay, I am a dancer. I know I want to have a nice choreo, but I need to focus on the singing. But no, you did also your own choreos.
Yes. Oh, girl, you know me already. Oh, girl. Yeah. That's true. Like, I was thinking lately, like, how can I be so like, because I think I want to take care of my I wouldn't say product, but yes, for in one hand, I want to take care of that, and I want to, just to express the most equal as I want to. But in the other hand, it's like I'm an independent artist still, so I can't afford like to hire people to do things. So it gave me that part of being like a 360 degrees artist, because I need to take care of many things in production, creation, choreography, and rehearsals and everything. But I like it. I still like it. Maybe one day I cannot do it, and I hope I can give this work to other people. But I have people who help me to do it. That's true. I have friends that help me to direct, to make this look beautiful.
Yeah, because when I look at your music videos, I can really tell that it's a dancer who made them, because the dancers have like 98% of the time in the video. There's not a lot of single shots on you. It's mostly, oh, let's throw in this solo and let's have this choreo while I'm singing, and we're gonna be this. I can see the process just by looking at these videos, which is beautiful, because a lot of course, music artists don't give the dancers a lot of
Wow.
time,
Wow, you just put it in the point, because with this album of mine, Gloria, I just wanted to make the dancer to feel in front, like to be principal character, because I don't want to, how can I explain that? I don't want to put the dancers behind me and just be a part of that, like the pop music or pop industry, I just wanted to get more, I just wanted to take the dancers more involved in the music also, like to be in the narrative. I don't know if I explain myself. Yeah. I felt like, because before, when I was more like a rapper, I had this contradictory mentality, because here in Spain, for example, hip hop is very orthodox. Like if you rap, you don't dance. It was before. Now has changed, right? But before it was like, if you are a rapper, you are a rapper. And as a woman, you have to prove that you are a rapper. And then if you are a dancer, you are a dancer. So it was completely separated. Then I integrated, yes, those part of myself. And now I'm in this mature point of my life that I say, like, whatever me, I'm just like this, and I think it's very rich, and I want my dancers to take the scene, just to be very authentic too. For me, it was very, very important. Like, I don't want people who looks the same. I just want people who has identity, essential points, just empower those people, mostly women. And yes, this is my, it came with Gloria, my latest album, to be honest. Yes. So you realize that? That's good.
Yeah, of course. I saw some crumpers in there. I
Yes,
was
too.
like, there's Afro, there's just a beautiful mix of like representation. So yeah, I saw it. I'm like very curious about how your process looks like when you are a dancer. Versus when you are a musician or a singer. Like when you're a dancer, do you start with the idea of like, oh, I would like this visual look, and then you pick the song? And is that the same thing with the music, or is it the music that starts first and then you put lyrics on? How does your process look like when you're creating?
For dancing, I always take the music first. It's like, because for dancing, music is always first. You need to respect that. So I think dancing is telling a story, and it needs to be connected with the music. In this case of my creation. But with music, sometimes you have things to say, you have a melody on your mind, and you just start to build that, to write down, and then you can connect with the producer and say, okay, I have this idea, this melody coming out, can you help me to that? And and then you start to build in this process. But yeah, I also create music having the background first, so I get the inspiration from the rhythm of that harmony, that so okay, I should write down about this and that, and yeah, so it can be in both ways.
Yeah.
Oh my
No, but no, I think it's very interesting because I think that maybe a lot of music artists, they are maybe having like, this is my sound, and like the beats will have to be created around this type of sound. Where you as a dancer are so used to interpretate different types of music that you can adapt and flow on so many rhythms because your body has been used to it. I think that is super interesting. I'm not a singer myself, but it seems to be like that.
Yeah, you know already. You know already how it works. Like I'm amazed. Yeah. It's like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
That's
very
so cool.
difficult, right, for the dancer. I think the most difficult part of a dancer is like being different people in one person. Like to have this ability of being so flexible, like mentally, like in the way to be different characters.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people would call dancers kind of schizophrenic because we're like, oh, you
Yes.
want sensual? Let me put on my sensual face. Oh, you want
Yes.
hardcore? Oh, I will give you hardcore. So I can imagine that, for people that may be trying to catch you as a music artist, they're like, oh, she's going
They
over
are
there.
crazy.
She's going
Yes.
there.
And I think now that I'm talking to you, with you, like maybe that is why my music is so eclectic, maybe because I'm a dancer. Maybe it's because of that. And I know the musical industry is like, I don't know where to put you. I don't know, because people, we need
The bar. Yeah.
the box, and I have problems with that also, because okay, you do hip hop, but you do also Afro Latin, you do also, and that's crazy, but I'm happy because I'm free. I feel free with my creation.
Yeah. And I think that that is the most important. Like, you have a gift, you want to make people feel something. This is your gift. And if you're gonna be able to make people feel something, you're gonna have to express whatever you want to express. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, I think nowadays the authenticity is more valuable.
Yeah.
Before it wasn't, but I think nowadays it's easier to be your own.
When we want to come into, like, you in these both type of roles, you were mentioning that you have to breathe differently. Is it like also that how does your training look like? Before you trained as a dancer, did you have certain routines, like physical training, that you now have to switch, or is it something completely new that you have to train now physically in order for you to do both roles?
No, I think that's perfect that I train for dance, because it gives you the resistance on the stage, to rap, sing, and move from one side to side. And I think that's a good point. But before the show, like when you are a dancer, you just keep to have the energy up, and to feel like the blood coming. And for me as a singer, before the show I need to be very calm. Like, I have to do my vocal training. That is weird, and it sounds weird. So that's different, because I see the dancers like having a good time, like wow, running and doing things to keep the blood like up, and just going out on the stage with the most energy. But in the other side, I have to be like a little bit alone, and be very calm. And then when I start the show, I have this moment that it's more progressive. Yeah. So this
Wow.
is for me the difference. Yeah.
Wow. So your routine is like, you go alone, you have this moment of yourself. Do you like listen to certain songs, or like how do you like get yourself in focus for that?
I try to have this silence meditation, to connect with my purpose again. And I call all my ancestors to be with me and to be present. This is the most important thing for me, and it's not so easy, to have this feeling that you are present, and you are going to be generous, and you are going to be also receptive to the people, to the crowd, and what is going to happen in that moment that you cannot control. It's because a choreography is a choreography, but when you have to lead a show, it's like you need to be there. You just need to be receptive with what is happening also. So yeah.
So yeah, because I just realized that like as a dancer, you are just so focused on not forgetting steps and
Yes.
like executing the steps as hard
Yes.
as possible.
Yes.
And you instead have like there's no one who's gonna really care if you don't do that left arm,
Yes.
but you connecting like actually with people in the audience is like way more important. Wow, that's such
Yes.
oh.
And that, yeah, yeah, because I see the dancers like, okay, this song, okay, let's repeat this routine. And then I get so nervous because for me, to be honest, I really get confused sometimes with when I'm singing and dancing. Like it's weird, but I say, okay, I'm a singer, I can do it. Like I just can let this part going on, do that the other one. And I tell the dancers before the show, don't worry if I mess up, like you just continue with the show, please, because I probably mess up. So in one hand, I put the girls on training. We train a lot. And then when it arrived the moment, I just let it be. It's like the result of that, I don't care anymore.
Wow.
So yeah.
Do you train like mentally for, you were talking about being in the moment? Do you have like routines in your normal life when you're not on stage or in the studio? What do you do to take care of like training to get into the moment?
Wow, my dear, I think it's so important to meditate, to just breathe, just focus on your breathing, to be alone, to have your moments, to walk. And I feel like this is very important to continue living, like just living. So for me, it's very important to have those routines. Also, you need to eat well and have this kind of discipline, and also the strength of your mental and spirit. I think it's very important to take care of that. It's not only to be super good as a dancer or a singer. I think you need to work on your inner person, who you are and why you are doing that, and how you can connect with that in a healthy way, because sometimes our profession is very difficult. I think you have many situations when you are going to feel devastated, because maybe you weren't picked up in this casting, or and I think it's very important to keep your mental health on point, connected with your spirit, and yes, I think meditation is very important for that. Breathing, just breathing is a meditation.
That is, and we forget to breathe in the right
Yes.
way so often. Yeah.
They say when you don't breathe, it's because you don't want to feel.
That's a deep one.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Wow. Can you describe like a memory of yours where you felt like maybe that you had reached a point of like no hope, devastation, and like how you overcame that? Do you have any memory that that you can come back to when you're like, oh, I overcame that one, so I can overcome this one too?
Then yes, when you feel devastated or super tired or something like that, it's because your vibration is low, because something has happened to you that put you in that kind of mood. So the first thing, you need to come back to yourself, to the basic things, like basic things, like seeing your people, your intimate people, taking care of your food, of your sleep, and just do simple things so you can connect again with your mission of life. Like for me, sometimes that I feel like that, I'm just like, okay, I worked too much maybe and I didn't get the results I wanted. I had this frustration coming. Okay, I just need to chill a little bit and then take it back again. For me, I think it's very important to respect the rhythm of your life. Of you cannot force. Sometimes we want to be very, very strong, and yes, I don't. Okay, it happened to me, but I'm going again and again and again, and you repeat the situation. So you need to feel and think also, like, okay, why I get to this point? Is because I was expecting this from this situation? Is because I took myself too far away and I get so tired, or what happened, right? So
Yeah, I think it's like such a fine line between like as artists, when your passion is your everything and like you want to keep going on that and don't lose track. You just want to keep next goal, next thing. And it's so the line between obsession and not seeing the beauty and the rest of your life, or like just waking up one day and not having anything to do, is very hard.
It's
I
very hard.
personally feel like it's very, very hard when you have a passion and you're like, what did I do today to make my dreams come true, and
Yes.
then you missing the sunshine, you miss
Yes.
the smell of the coffee, like you miss all of that. Nothing of that matters because you haven't achieved anything this particular day, and it makes you feel like failure instead of just like, life happened also this day and it
Yeah.
was beautiful. Do you
Yes.
ever also encounter these things?
Totally. Like I really felt that when, yeah, the thing that you are talking about is completely true. Like I think I felt the same many, many times, and I'm still feeling that some days. And I think many people feels like you said already, and you get to the point. But that's why I say that you don't have to force that, because maybe if you relax a little bit. I mean, for me, inspiration doesn't come from forcing something. It's losing some. Is to give a space and time. And maybe you are taking your coffee and the sun is shining and you just feel like, ooh, a little bit of lifted, and then boom, an idea comes to your mind. It's
Yeah.
because I think creation is emotional.
Yeah, I think that this 2020 year has
And
also
yeah,
taught us, a
yes,
lot
yeah.
about this. And I personally had a moment the other day where I had to grieve for a project idea that I just can't execute it right now. It needs
Okay.
live audience. It needs all of these things that we cannot have right now in the
Okay.
way I envisioned it. And I had to just take a moment of letting it go for now, and that was almost like losing just losing a dream at the same time. As I know, I'm great, we're great, I'm grateful, but
Yes.
I think that 2020 taught us to not hold on so hard, so that affect your happiness if you cannot do something with dancing, you know what I mean?
Totally. I think sometimes we confuse what we are with what we do, Yes, it's like, okay, I'm valuable because I'm doing a lot and I'm doing this and I'm, having my goals and everything. But no, I think we are valuable, like naturally, essentially, because we are here, we are alive, and yes, I think this is the most important thing to realize. And I think this pandemic gave us the shock
Yeah.
to change our mind.
What has been like one of your biggest learning lessons 2020?
A lot. The first one is like I have no control what is going to happen, so I only have control of my reaction and how or what I do with this information that I have, So losing the control is very difficult for people. So I think that was the first thing, because I was going to Brazil in the day that they closed my country. I was going to make a show. So, and I was going to start my press, how can I say, press for my album. I was going to make the promotion. I had to take the decision to stay here because I couldn't travel. And from that point I was like, okay, something bigger than me is going to happen and I need to be very grounded. So this 2020 gave me this necessity, or I don't know how to call it, but yeah, you have to be grounded, and you don't have control of anything. You just need to channel all of this and don't lose your mind. And also it gave me the opportunity to let it go people, also people that was around, but okay, now is the moment that I realize that you are not good for me now. So I just let you go. I also have this moment of, creation, crazy creation too. And also gave me the opportunity to be more authentic.
Wow, that's beautiful qualities. That's also what I talk a lot with my friends about. Like a lot of people are like, oh, can't wait for 2020 to be over and like, let's forget about that year. And I'm just like, no, 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 no. This is like one of the most important years of our personal development as a planet, like just as a, and of course, we say this from a privileged standpoint of like, we have a house, we have,
Yes.
food on our table and all this, but from just a mental standpoint, like where were we gonna be ending up if we never had this stop, and where everyone collectively could feel empathy for each other because everyone was in the same situation of not having control. So I think that as like a humanity, but also on personal levels, I think that we're gonna look back in 5 to 10 years time and say 2020 changed my life, and it saved me time to confront myself, self-reflection. It saved so much time because I was forced to do it.
Wow, so powerful message that you gave us. Yes, yeah, totally. We had this self-reflection, and it was not comfortable. It was like the most uncomfortable thing that you have. Like, oh my God, I have no distraction. I have no job. Like, I have to create a new way to earn money because my regular jobs, like gigs and shows and everything, has changed. So you need to be very, very creative in the way you earn your money. You live your life, and and yeah, I think we were like people who normally get too busy, with job. Sometimes it's because you don't want to realize of something. I'm talking of myself.
Yeah.
I'm very proactive and do that and this, that, and I feel good. Like I'm getting to the point that we were talking about before, remember? So this 2020, it was like, okay, now just stop and watch you in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. And to come back to what you said, like, we are valuable as people, not for what we're doing and how much we're doing things, but for who we are. And I've been talking with so many dancers this years after I started this podcast, and many of them are saying the same thing, like, who am I when I cannot dance on stage? And
Yes, my God.
what kind of person am I when I don't have my identity stripped in my forehead? Next gig, check it out. You know what I mean? Like, who am I? So I think it's been super confronting for a lot of artists, and like hopefully in the most positive ways of like, oh, so I am actually a valuable human being even when I don't have a next gig booked.
Boom, and drop the mic.
Yes, you said it. I just extended it.
No, but it's true. Like we are attached so with so many identities, like so many label.
Yes.
It's like dancer, singer, performer, and wow, we suffer a lot because to maintain those levels, it's like sometimes you need to sacrifice a lot, like your time, everything, and we are very passionate as well because we give everything to our profession.
Yeah. Wow.
So we need to balance a little bit of that. I think we need to be more people, more human.
More human, for sure. Wow. Such a cosmic conversation. Beautiful.
I know.
In the end of my interviews, I always have something called fill in the blanks, where basically I start a sentence and you end it with one word or an end of a sentence. It's very hard because it's very short answers, but let's try it, okay?
Okay, let's try. Challenge.
If I could give one advice to dancers out there, it would be...
Only one? Only one advice?
Exactly. Yes, one advice. Travel.
But now you can, but travel.
When we can, travel.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right. If I could give advice to a dancer who wants to become a singer or rapper, it would be...
Work.
Breathe. Change your breathing.
Yeah, and now it came my way, my exigent Indee. Yeah. No. You will say breathe, right?
Work and breathe. I
Yes,
don't know.
that's true. That's true.
Oh, okay. Next one would be when I hear a really good song, it physically makes me feel
Connected.
connected. Oh, love it. Love it. You're good. You're good. Okay. When I am on stage, the most important thing is
Communicate.
with the audience, like we talked about before, and stuff like
Yes,
that.
but as a dancer too, communicate. Don't. I mean, is the thing that I say before the show. You need to train a lot to execute beautifully. Like to make the things good and to have everything that you can have, like technique, but also like feeling and groove and everything.
Yeah.
But then when you are there, you just need to be communication, vibration, you need to make the people feel.
Next question.
Okay.
Something that gives me good vibration is.
Wow. Whew. That's hard.
I know. I'm sorry.
Self-love.
Self-love. I love it. It can be in anything, huh? That's a smart answer. All right. The best advice that I have ever received was
Be you.
back to that authentic self. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Indee, for your time and for these wise words. We never met each other, but I'm super grateful to have had this talk with you. In the end of my interviews, I always leave the mic to my guests. Where can we find you? Is there someone you want to love bomb? The mic is yours.
Oh, okay. First of all, thank you. Thank you for having me. It has been an amazing time. I was very shy at the beginning, but then I felt like we had this intimate space and time, and I felt very like free to express myself. So thank you for this space. And listeners, listen to the podcast, the other podcast, because you have like such a range of interesting people talking. I'm very like, wow, impressed. And in the other hand, if you want to get know more about my job as a singer, you can just go to digital platforms like Spotify, iTunes, and everything. I just released Gloria is my latest album. And then yes, I have Instagram and everything. Social medias. Yes, I didn't have this word. and yeah, thank you for giving a space to people who maybe we are not so famous, but we have words to say.
We all have a story. We all have something to say. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you in real life very soon again.
Maybe in Amsterdam, maybe in Barcelona.
Exactly. Oh, I want some sun. I'm gonna come.
You have the sun on your face right now, like so beautiful.
So beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much. Don't forget to click subscribe, comment below, and give us a rating or review. We have a Facebook page, YouTube page, and we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, so don't forget to tag us in your favorite episode and share it with the world, because we read all of it.